Hey, welcome back, guys. So today on this video, we are talking about your Udemy course, and more specifically, I'm going to quickly answer a question I keep getting a lot on my other video, and that is, how do you add a quiz into your Udemy course? So let's go ahead and talk about this. First off, guys, real quick video, not too many steps involved, so be sure to stick around to the end of the video. But why would you want to add a quiz into your Udemy course anyways? Well, that's pretty easy. If you're running an online business doing courses, you know that it's important to quiz your students to make sure they're comprehending the lesson before they move on. Whatever the case is, it's a pretty easy process. It's handled here in your Udemy dashboard. Check my video description. I'll try to leave the written instructions there as well. But I've already logged into my Udemy account, and this is the home screen. Now here on the home screen, if you want to add a quiz into one of your courses, here on the left side, click on courses. Once you do that, you're going to see all the courses you have with Udemy. So you just want to scroll through until you find the course you want to add a quiz to. So for example, this one. Okay, once you do that, here on the left side, you want to click on curriculum. All right, once you do that, you can see that it's split up into different sections. So I have a Mexican food section and a Chinese food section. And in each section, you can see there's different lectures. So for example, I have a lecture on tacos and nachos. So you want to choose which section you're going to add the quiz to. So for example, the Mexican food section, I'm going to go ahead and add a quiz. And what you're going to do is click on curriculum item. It's in purple. Okay, once you do that, you'll see these options and you want to click here on quiz. Okay, so here you can go ahead and quiz your student. So what's the name of the quiz? So since this is a Mexican food section, I'm going to go ahead and put Mexican ingredients quiz. Okay, and quiz description, test your knowledge on Mexican ingredients. And then you want to click on add quiz. Okay, so now we have a quiz and we're going to go ahead and start adding in questions. So you could have one question or you could have 5 questions or 10 questions. That's really up to you. So what you're going to do is off to the right, click on questions, and then you want to choose this multiple choice. Okay, what is the question? So for example, let's ask them what type of cheese for nachos. Okay, and here we're going to go ahead and add our answers. So for the first answer, let's go ahead and add cream cheese. Okay, here underneath, you want to write why this is a good answer or why it's a bad answer. So too sweet for nachos. Okay, and then the second option they're going to have is mozzarella cheese. Okay, and this one is not good because typically for Italian food or pizza. Okay, and the last one I'm going to choose is cheddar, typical for Mexican food. Mexican. Okay, and then as you see, it just keeps adding in, so we can add in multiple choice. However, for me, these 3 options are going to be good enough, so I'm going to go ahead and hover over this one and delete it. Okay, so now we have 3 options, and we're going to go ahead and save. Okay, so here we have our quiz, and then we have our first question. What type of cheese for nachos? Multiple choice. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add in another question. So off to the left here, it says questions and new question. Let's add another one, multiple choice. And what is the question? Crunchy tacos or soft tacos? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and enter in soft tacos. And then the second answer is crunchy tacos. And then I'll put here, crunchy tacos, not a good answer because this is typically Mexican American food. Okay, and soft tacos, we're going to choose the answer. So this one is the correct answer, typical for Mexico. Okay, and then here we're going to go ahead and delete this third option. We don't need that. Okay, so now we have our second quiz question. Let me go ahead and correct this, crunchy tacos or soft tacos. And then we're going to click on save. Okay, now we are building out our quiz. So you can see we have 2 questions now. What type of cheese for nachos and crunchy tacos or soft tacos? And you can just keep adding in more questions if you want. Just keep clicking on new questions. For me, that's good enough. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that. Also, I want to let you know that they're going to need to complete the lecture 1, lecture 2. And then at that point, they're going to have access to the quiz. However, if I want to move this up, I can just hover over it and you see it turns into like a cross. And you can just grab it and drag it right up to where you want. So maybe I want it to have a quiz after my first lecture. So I'll drag it right here. Okay, so now we have lecture 1 and then a quiz, and then they can move on to lecture 2. So there you have it, guys. If you're wondering how to set up a quiz inside of your Udemy course, that's the easiest way I know how to do it. If you know an easier way, be sure to leave a comment below. Let the rest of us know how you did it. Hopefully you found that video useful. If so, click thumbs up or maybe consider subscribing to my channel, and I hope to see you on the next video. Thanks again for watching.